Your breath starts to move in this way and to make your inhales a little larger, your exhales a little longer. Drop your shoulders. Let your hips become heavy. After your next inhale, hold the breath in. Hold the breath a little longer, noticing how this makes you feel. Noticing how your breath might begin to fluctuate, how your mind might begin to fluctuate. Exhale all of your breath and return to your Dirga breath. With your next inhale, take your arms overhead. And as you exhale, bring your palms to the floor in front of you. You might want to stop there and just really enjoy that stretch. But when you're ready, come to all fours. The wrists are going to go right underneath your shoulders. Knees are going to go right underneath your hips. And when you next exhale, round your back. As you inhale, arch your back. Get back and forth, just reminding your spine that it can move. Reminding your head and neck that it can relax too. So as you round the back, really let the head be heavy. Not holding on to any tension there as you exhale. When you next pass through neutral, go ahead and pause there. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees. Take a breath there. And then slowly begin to extend your heels towards the floor. And then take your hips up, belly towards thighs. Then you can lift your right toes, just the toes, and then relax them down. Lift left toes, relax them down. Let's do that a couple more times. And then with your next inhale, bring your knees all the way down to the floor, hips towards heels. As you exhale, lift the hips up high. Inhaling to bring the hips and the knees down. Exhaling to bring the hips and the knees up. We'll do this 2 more times. And then that next time that you lift your hips up high, walk your hands and feet towards each other to bring all your weight onto your feet. Spread your toes out wide. Pull your ankles towards each other, but see if you can repel your inner thighs away from each other. And when you next inhale, open your arms, come halfway up. As you exhale, hold all the way forward. Inhaling up. Exhaling forward. 2 more times. When you next fold forward, bring your fingertips to the floor, step your right leg back. Taking a nice long stance here. Reach your front knee towards the wall in front of you, but keep it over the ankle. So it's an isometric movement. At the same time, reach your back heel back. You pull that left hip back, right hip forward. So we're stretching our bones almost. With your next breath, press that front leg towards straight. And with your next breath, step that back foot forward. With your next inhale, open your arms, come all the way up. As you exhale, open the arms, fold all the way forward. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling all the way forward. Every time you come up, let your knees be the last thing that straightens. And with your next exhale, fold all the way forward. Bring your left foot back. So we're coming back into a lunge here, just the other side. Reaching through your front knee, but pulling that front hip back. Reaching through that back heel, but pulling the back hip forward. Super strong in your legs. With your next breath, press your front leg towards straight. And with your next breath, step your back foot forward. As you next inhale, open your arms, come all the way up to standing. Stretch the arms up and exhale them all the way back down. We're going to do a little bit of balancing movement here. I know some of you are working with some low back stuff. So if it's feeling a little bit touching, you might just use the wall as your friend, just so that you don't have to worry about tipping over. Now, when we do this, as we mentioned yesterday, what's often here to do with less padding underneath you. So if you need to switch your padding situation a little bit, go right ahead. You might step off your mat to make that a little easier if you're having a day that feels a little windy. So right foot, weight in the right foot, hands on your hips. Lift the left foot. Are you breathing? If you're not breathing, go ahead and start now. And begin to circle in your hip. Reverse your direction. You're probably like me, you got a few pops and clicks going on in there. Good. And when your foot next comes towards the floor, bring it down, shift your weight, lift your right foot, and begin to circle in the right hip. Reverse your direction. And when your leg next comes downward, place it on the floor. Step all the way to the right side of your mat. So skinny end, you're on the right side. Now we're going to take our hands to our hips again and do something a little bit different. So turn your right toes in slightly. This is part of moving the mind as well as the body. So right toes in slightly and just be a little bit pigeon-toed. Lift your left foot up. Turn your knee out to the side. Now look towards that left end of your mat. We're going to take a big step out. And here we are, ready for warrior two. So level out your hips, open up your arms. We'll switch it up a little bit for hitchhiking warriors. So roll your fingers into your fists. Thumbs are up. Press up through your thumbs, out through your fists. Now press just a little out through the thumbs as well. So reaching up, but also a little bit out. And then relax your arms down. Bring your hands back to your hips. Now we need to get over to that left side of the mat if we're going to do the same thing over to the right. So take that right foot, step it to meet your left. Feel a little bit more open in those hips. Kind of fun. Just try poses in different ways. So left toes turn in a little bit. Right foot lifts. You know where you're going. Make sure you're breathing. Turn your right leg out to the right. Take a look at that right side of your mat. How big a step can you easily make? Try and step out. We're ready for warrior two on this side. Leveling the hips, lifting the pubic bone, opening the arms. Let's do it a little bit differently this time. So palms are facing the floor. Reach through your middle fingers. Turn your head to look over those front fingers. And while you're looking in that direction, make sure your front knee points in the same direction as your toes. Steady breaths. Now release your arms down, hands to your hips. Step your back foot, that's your left foot, to your right foot. Good job. Bring your legs nice and close together. Good. Legs close together, knees nice and tight together. Begin to circle your hips. Loosen up a little in the hips. Loosen up a little in the low back. Good. Let your pelvis move here like you're cleaning out the underside of the peanut butter jar as you reverse your direction. Good. Now that we're a little bit looser, let's go ahead and step to the right end of our mat again. I'm going to make things just slightly more interesting. So if you have healthy knees, point your toes straight ahead here. If your knee's a little bit funny, turn your toes in a little bit. And as you do this, be mindful of that knee. Really strengthen around that knee. We're going to lift the left foot, turn the knee out to the side, and bring the sole of the foot to the inside of your leg. Now, wherever it is, but especially if you put it on the knee, press the knee into the foot because this is the weakest part of your posture. So pressing that right leg into your foot, take your arms overhead. Hello, tree pose. Are you ready? Because we're going to take warrior two again. So look to the left end of your mat. And from your tree pose, step out, warrior two. Take your hands around behind you and send your interlaced fingers towards the floor. One more breath like this. And with your next inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Your next exhale, step that back foot, right foot to the left, but keep the knees bent. Utkatasana. If you're feeling up for a challenge, lower way down. Knees behind your toes. You're like, challenge. Had enough of those today. Then keep your knees, your hips a little higher, a little less bent. One more breath. And then bend the knees a little deeper. Fold over your legs, letting your torso rest on your thighs. Big breath. With your third breath, use your hands to help bring you all the way up. Turn again towards the long side of your mat. Again, if you're protecting your knee, turn your toes in a little bit. Otherwise, keep your toes straight ahead. Lift your right foot, find your tree pose on this side. Whether you put your toes on the floor or take your foot all the way up to your inner thigh. Hips work towards level. Arms rise up. Steady your breath. Steady your pose. Look to the front of your mat. That's the right side now. And take a giant step out for your warrior two. Leveling your hips, lifting the pubic bone. Bring your palms together. Take your hands behind your head. Squeeze your upper arms towards your ears. Pull your shoulders down. Take another breath. Release the arms down. And with your next breath, we're going to step into that Ardha Utkatasana. That's the squat with our knees bent and our belly resting on our thighs. So that's just where we were on the other side. We're skipping the upright part. We're going right to the folded part. So with your next breath, left foot to the right, knees bend, fold forward. 2 big breaths. Then bring your legs towards straight and step your right foot back. Bring your shin and the top of your foot all the way down to your mat. Pull your inner thighs gently towards each other to square the hips and lengthen your spine. 2 big breaths right here. Your third breath, bring your left foot back. Bring your right foot forward. So we've got our lunge on the other side. Inner thighs nice and strong. A little lift of your pelvic floor will help you elongate your spine. Steady Dirga breaths. With your next breath, step your front foot all the way back and take your hips back towards your heels into child's pose. 2 more big breaths here. You get to your third breath, stand all the way up on your knees. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, lift your pubic bone. Your hands around to your low back and begin to take your hips forward as you bring your whole rib cage up. A little bit of camel pose here. This is feeling good in your low back. You're more than welcome to reach back for your heels. If it's not so, stay where it does feel good. And for today, either elongate the neck or tuck your chin towards your throat. 2 more breaths. Camel pose. With that next breath, bring yourself up and then bring your hands down to the floor. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, arch your back. Back and forth. Next breath, bring your right knee forward between the hands or to the outside of your right hand. That heel can stay under either hip, whatever feels better for you as we prepare for pigeon pose, Kapotasana. Squaring your hips, stay nice and tall. Check out your balance by releasing your hands from the floor. If you need them down, bring them down, it's cool. If you don't need them down, bring them to your low back. As you next exhale, fold forward. You inhale, see if you can use your hamstrings and your glutes to help bring your torso up. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling to rise up. Next time you fold forward, go ahead and stay there. Nice place I find to stack my fists and let my head just rest on my hands. You're feeling like you'd like a little bit more. Walk your elbows over to the left. So you end up with a little bit of a side stretch going on in that side hip. You can even bring that right hand out, extending the arm long. We're going to take 2 more big breaths here. Your next breath, walk yourself back to center and decide, how does this feel? Do you want to stay right here? If you do, then that's all you need to do. If you want a little bit more challenge, anchor both legs down to your mat. Walk your torso a little bit over to the right. It won't go nearly so far. Get a little bit of a side stretch in that left side. And you can extend your arm out long, left arm out long. We'll take just 2 breaths here. Little mobilization for that low back. And with that 3rd breath, bring yourself back to center. Now, you can come up and release your pigeon. We're all going to come down onto our bellies. Or if you'd like a little challenge, because I know we've got some of you guys that like that here today, then tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Arms forearms on the floor, fingers interlaced or hand wrapped around fists. Press into your forearm, slide that front leg back for forearm plank. 2 big breaths. Then bring your knees down and come down to your belly to join everyone else. When you've made it down, go ahead and bring your arms down by your sides. Press your pelvis down. Inhale your chest forward and up. Lengthen and lift your legs, but not higher than your chest. Take 3 breaths. And use the next exhale to lower down. Hands under your shoulders. Press to all fours. And we'll take pigeon on the second side. So left knee comes forward, either between the hands or to the outside of that left hand. That left foot is under either hip or maybe even a little closer to that right hand. Wherever you've chosen to be, press down into your feet. Check out your balance. If you want your hands down, bring your hands down. If you don't, bring them palms up to your low back. Inner thighs pull towards each other. You're strong through your core. And as you exhale, fold forward. You inhale using your glutes and your hamstrings on both legs to help bring you up. Up and down. The next time you fold forward, you're going to stay coming into resting. So again, stack your hips if you'd like, stretch your arms out, whatever feels good. Leveling the hips. So that means one side's not closer to the floor than the other. And if this is feeling good, you're going to just stay right here. If you'd like more challenge, then you're going to walk your arms over to the right. You can extend that left arm out to find more side stretch on that left side, only if you wish. If you find that you've gone too deep into pigeon on this side and you're like, what did I get myself into? Just bring your knees closer together. Your hips will be higher, there'll be less stretch and less strain. With your next breath, walk your arms back to center. And then if you feel so inclined, take your torso over to the left. Maybe reach that right arm out, maybe not. We're going to take just 2 more breaths here. Get still level. With that next breath, bring yourself back to center and either just transition onto your belly in your favorite manner or come again through the forearm plank, tucking the back toes, stabilizing the arms and the shoulders, and sliding that left leg back to meet the right. 2 breaths if you take forearm plank. And with that next breath, come down to your belly and join everyone else. When you make it there, bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs, taking your feet from side to side. Taking your knees wider apart, bringing the soles of your feet together. Anchor your pelvis. And begin to reach your toes gently towards the floor, keeping the soles together and keeping your pelvis anchored to the floor. When you feel a little bit of a stretch, just stop there. I'm going to take just 2 more breaths here. And then slowly walk your knees all the way back towards each other. Release your legs down. A moment just to notice what you're feeling in there. We've moved the hips in a lot of different ways. And when you feel ready, roll all the way onto your back. Taking your arms wide and your left foot to the floor. Shift your hips over towards that left foot. Flex the right. And draw that left knee across your body, coming into Supta Matsyendrasana. Lengthen the axis of your rotation from your right heel to the crown of your head. Big, deep breaths, especially up into those upper ribs, helping to stretch and release tension in your pecs. When you get to your next inhale, unwind and bring it back to neutral. Right foot to the floor, the left leg extends. Shift the hips to the right and flex your left foot. Then take that bent knee across your body. Lengthening that axis from that left heel to the very crown of your head. See how long you can get here as you breathe all the way up in those upper ribs. The shoulders drop back. Let your jaw release. And with your next inhale, unwind your body. Shift everything back to neutral. Lengthen your right leg. Lift your left foot, 90-degree angle at the hip and at the knee. That right leg is strong to help you stabilize. Your outer waist, pull us in towards your belly button to help you stabilize. And we begin to circle the ankle. Steady Dirga breath, still moving. Even as we reverse the direction of our circles. When you get to your next breath, press that left leg out long on your mat, foot flexed, bend the right knee. Looking for those right angles at the hip and the knee, and beginning to circle in your ankle. Remember, outer waist towards your belly button helps stabilize the pelvis. Shoulders relax. And we reverse direction. Pressing through the sole of that right foot, extend your leg out long and relax the legs. One hand to your belly, one hand to your chest, and feel the movement of your Dirga breath. After the next breath, release the control of your breath and let it just flow. Release your hands from your torso and roll yourself onto one side. Slowly press yourself all the way up to seated. Making sure that it's a comfortable seat, because we're going to take a little bit of meditation after we do just a little bit of release for the neck and shoulders. Breath flowing, natural and free. Release your chin towards your chest. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Let your jaw release. And then slowly take that left ear towards the left shoulder. Turn your chin towards that shoulder, however it feels good. See if you can let the shoulders drop again. Releasing your chin back towards your chest. Shoulder blades sliding down the back. And taking your right ear towards your right shoulder. Maybe turning your chin towards your shoulder, maybe not. Wherever it feels sweet, go with that. And then release the chin back towards the chest. Bring your head all the way up. Roll your shoulders back just a couple times. And reverse the cross of your legs or adjust your seat for greater comfort. Maybe sit up a little bit higher, more comfortable. You've made yourself comfortable and put on any extra layers you feel like you might need at this point. Close your eyes. Let your breath flow free. They invite you to observe your thoughts. Now, we're observing the thoughts without making lists. Some of you might have seen that little funny up on my page today. Not making lists, not getting involved in discussions with yourself or imaginary discussions with other people. Just noticing those thoughts. Noticing your reactions to those thoughts. And if you have no thoughts at all, notice that. Aware of your thoughts. Aware of your thoughts. Aware of your thoughts. Aware of your thoughts. As you are aware of each thought moving through your mind, I invite you to consider whether these thoughts are you. Are you your thoughts? Or are you something completely else or completely beside? Notice what thoughts arise in response to this question, but again, no need to get involved. Are you all these thoughts? Are you any of these thoughts? Who are you without your thoughts? Now take a big breath in. Hold the breath in for a moment. Let it go nice and slow. One more time, big breath in. Hold it. Let it go nice and slow. I invite you to either stay here in a seated position. I know for some of you this often works a little better, or to lie all the way down on your back. I invite you to get super cozy on your back. A couple nice little things you can do for your body if you have a blanket or even your yoga mat. Just put a little bit of support underneath your knees. Helps relax the low back and the legs. Or put the tiniest of rolls underneath your neck. This helps relax the upper shoulders and the head. You've arrived in a position that you really love right now. The sensation wash over you. Let your body begin to grow heavier. Lower body heavier. Your upper body heavier. Your front body heavier. Your back body heavier. Whole body so heavy that you begin to sink into your mat. Physical parameters beginning to melt away. Letting go. Letting go. Until you've relaxed into the pure essence of you. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Take some more time here just for you and to renew and replenish. Thank you for inviting me into your home tonight, for taking this time to practice with me. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan. Have the most wonderful evening.